Hi, Jenni here, and it's been a while since I've done a bookshelf tour, so that's what this video is about. I will go through my bookshelves, shelf by shelf, and I will share some of my favorite books from those shelves. These shelves are from Jysk, and they widen with each shelf, and I really like that. I do have to say my shelves are overflowing a little bit. I should do another unhaul. But this is where my shelves are at now. On this first shelf, I have special editions of the Hunger Games 4 books, not Sunrise on the Reaping. These are hardback, they are absolutely beautiful. Then I also have a collection of Moomin books and 2 Astrid Lindgren books that really meant a lot to me as a child, Ronja Rövarien tytär ja veljeni Leijonamieli. I wanted these to be on their own shelf because these are so meaningful to me as a young reader and as a reader now. Then there are these 2 candle holders or whatever they are called. They're really nice during Christmas to have a bit of light in the darkness. Moving on. The next one is my blue shelf. It features contemporary fiction, literary fiction, some fantasy and magical realism. I just wanted to have a dedicated blue shelf because it's my favorite color. Yes, Babel by R.F. Kuang. It is a black book, but I feel like it fits the shelf better here. Some of my favorites, well, obviously all of these are pretty high on my favorites list, but maybe Enter Ghost by Isabella Hammett, Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, Welcome to the Hunam Dong Bookshop by Huang Borum, and also Vincent Delacroix Small Boat. I absolutely love all of these books. The only one that I haven't read is a new purchase, Han Kang Light and Thread, which is a non-fiction book actually from her. But I love Han Kang's writing, so it's already here then. This is one of my favorite shelves because I just love how all of them are blue. Alright, moving on to the next one. So this is where things get a bit messy. So this continues with my contemporary and literary fiction books as well as some fantasy and magical realism. But as you can see, there are also some books in the back as well. Most of them are in English. Some of my favorites from this shelf, Georgia Hunter's One Good Thing is beautiful. There are also books that are kind of out of what I usually read, like The Man Who Spoke Snegish by Andrus Kiviräht. Very interesting book. Han Kang, obviously one of my favorite authors, although I'm too scared to read some of her books. But Human Acts broke my heart. It's absolutely amazing. Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. Incredible. I've read most of these books on this shelf. I haven't read that one yet. And there are a few books that I haven't read here. And I do love how colorful this shelf is. But I do feel a bit overwhelmed by all the books that are in the back here. Alright, we are already on the 4th shelf of my first bookshelf. This is a bit of a mismatch. It used to be just like my romance novels. But now it has been taken over by Finnish books, which I have expanded my collection on. I used to not have that many Finnish books, and I am Finnish, but there have been a few books that just have been really interesting to me. I haven't read all of these, but I love Anu Vähäaho. I love the type of historical fiction and romance she writes. Hayati Rakkaani, I recently talked about this book by Amani Almensen. Really loved it. This book features short stories from Tove Jansson. Short stories / short novels. I really like them. These are my Emily Henry books. Out of these, Book Lovers is my favorite. Beach Read is my least favorite. And I still haven't read Emily Henry's most recent book yet. Shauna Robinson is one of my favorites. I love how wonderful and cozy, but also her books always have something to say. These are 2 of her books, Must Love Books and The Secret Book Club. I have read her newest one, Lauren Harper Falls Apart, but I haven't found it as a physical copy anywhere. Then here in the back you can see more Finnish books. Again, it is quite overwhelming, but you know, at least I'm using all the space that's on the shelf. Right, moving on to the last shelf of my first bookshelf. So this is the last shelf of my first bookshelf, and it features my youth YA books and poetry books. Here, obviously, you can see the massive collection of the Hunger Games books in Finnish and in English. I have thought that maybe I should give these books away, but they hold sentimental value because these are the first English editions I bought from London when I was 17. So I don't have the heart to give any of these away. These are the Finnish editions I have of the Hunger Games books. Here are the full Chronicles of Narnia, both in English and in Finnish. I absolutely love Narnia and I can't wait for the new adaptation that's coming. There's also an illustrated version of the first Hunger Games book that Joel, my fiance, just got me randomly when he was in Helsinki. Very thankful, and I haven't read it yet, but I would love to read it soon. Then in the back, which you can't really see, there's more like YA books. All of my John Green books are there. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Some children's books as well. Peter Pan, for example. Then there are all my Jenni books as well. It's a crowded shelf, but I'm making most of the shelf space that I have. As for the poetry books, I absolutely love poetry. Some of my favorite from the books that I have is Rifka by Mohammed El-Qod. It was so impactful. Also, I wrote my bachelor's thesis on Sor Juana's love poems and Sappho's poetry, so those hold a lot of meaning to me as well. Now this is my special Jane Austen shelf, which features all of her books in Finnish and in English and in many different editions. It misses a couple of Mansfield Park editions because we are currently reading them, but some of my favorites from this shelf are this edition of Pride and Prejudice. It's so beautiful. I also love these editions of Persuasion and Emma. And these new Finnish translations of Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice and Persuasion are also just so stunning. Jane Austen is one of my favorite authors, so dedicated shelf to her just makes sense to me. Moving on to my other favorite shelf, and this is a Penguin classics / contemporary fiction shelf. I got this idea of doing just Penguin classics from the Instagram user Trashling, who also had, at least at some point, this type of shelf. And I really love how all of the editions match each other. Of course, there are a couple non-fiction books here, but mostly these are classics. Some of my favorites from this shelf is James Baldwin, Giovanni's Room, of course Middlemarch, but there are a couple that I haven't read yet. In the back you can see the black little classics from Penguin, and then there is this beautiful illustration of James Baldwin that was made by Caroline Marie Reeds, which I absolutely love, and I feel like it fits this shelf perfectly. This is my second classics shelf, and it has like mismatched editions. Some Wordsworth collections, some Shakespeare. I have to be honest, I haven't read that many books from this shelf. Few, but I still have a lot more reading to do. Some highlights from this shelf. Tove Jansson, Kesäkirja, absolutely beautiful. I also liked Edith Wharton, The Age of Innocence. Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. There are some pretty good classics on this shelf, but I should read more of them. And now to probably the most overwhelming bookshelf that I have. It's my first non-fiction bookshelf, and I've tried my best to rearrange it in different ways to make sure that everything fits here, but I'm still not happy with it. But I've tried to categorize these books and again use all the space that I have. So here are books on Palestine. I've read most of them. Perfect Victims by Mohammed El-Qod is really amazing If I Must Die by Rafat Al-Harrir, which was released after his death. It's a compilation of all of his writing and poetry, and it's amazing. They Call Me a Lioness by Ahed Tamimi with Dina Takruri is really amazing, as well as Palestine, A 4,000-Year History by Noor Mashallah. Then I have 3 books that are to do with Ukraine by Maxim Fedorov and Sophie Oksanen. Then this is a new edition, How to Spot a Fascist by Umberto Eco. I've read Is It Mouse or a Rat by Umberto Eco before for my studies, so it will be interesting to see what kind of writing he does here. Then I have like a small World War II section, then books about feminism, but it's not all of them. Then here in this corner I have books about society at hand now, and then here I have books about history overall, like history of different countries. Here you can see a bit of working class history. It's a lot, but I absolutely love reading non-fiction and like learning through that medium. So I love these books. Then continuing on with my non-fiction books, these 2 didn't fit this shelf anymore, but We Are Everywhere. This features like queer history in the US and pictures from it. I absolutely love this one. Then Marsha by Tourmaline, which is like the biography of Marsha B. Johnson. I absolutely love this book. Then here are some art books, and they continue on in the back as well. I love this collection of photographs by Lee Miller, who was a very trailblazing photographer during World War II. Then I have autobiographies by celebrities and public figures. I absolutely love Tina Turner's My Love Story. She is amazing. Then Diane Guerrero's In the Country We Love was really impactful. It was about, her family who was deported back to Colombia and how she managed in the US then without them, and it's very impactful. In the back you can see some more art books as well as just some random non-fiction books that didn't really fit anywhere. So that's it for my main bookshelves. These are not all the books I have, but because these are very predominant in my videos, I thought I would just present these ones. I do have books that are more about like Finnish history and just random non-fiction, fiction books in the apartment in different cupboards and so on. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video of my bookshelves. If you want to read more of my book reviews, you can follow me on Bookstagram at jenskosmos. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Bye!